You're listening to the Wayward Atheist Podcast. Hello, everyone. If this is your first time listening, thank you for joining us. This is a podcast where borders collide, where the gloves are off, where filters are removed, where we tell you exactly what we think about the news, politics, and religion. The Wayward Atheist Podcast is dedicated to free thought, reason, and the pursuit of truth. You can follow us on Twitter at Wayward Atheist, on Spreaker, Stitcher, and iTunes. You can email us at waywardatheistpodcast@gmail.com or leave us a comment on our Facebook page. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
This week's episode of The Wayward Atheist has been brought to you by the Crafty Freethinker. Tired of boring old jewelry and charms? Why not wear a motherfucking T-Rex around your neck? Or a pendant of the Scarlet A? Handmade, secular, and science jewelry from the Crafty Freethinker gives you a nice alternative to boring old jewelry. Find the Crafty Freethinker on Etsy and Amazon. Links are in the show notes, or simply Google the Crafty Freethinker as one word. Hello and welcome to the Wayward Atheist Podcast. I'm Dave, aka the Great White North.
I'm Corey, aka the Yank.
I'm Big Black A Dave.
And I'm Ed, the Everyday Atheist.
And tonight we are joined by...
This is Atheist on Fire, Forrest.
So I found Atheist on Fire because he followed us, and when I had first started when we had first started podcasting, me and Corinne and everybody else, and we kind of really didn't know what we were doing. I would have really liked somebody to put out a helping hand and try to give us a little boost. So that's what I'm going to do for Forrest, because I really liked his content. I think that he has something there, and I think he brought some different angles to the Noah's Ark story that I hadn't really thought of before, and scientific stuff that I hadn't thought of.
I like scientific stuff.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
Yeah, like Edward, you noticed it right away too, right?
Yeah, I mean, the content was great, and especially when he made me think of something from a story that I've heard 100 times about Noah's Ark, you know? And when you can bring something to the table that allows you to think fresh about a topic you've heard 100 times, it's important to pay attention.
Yeah. So go ahead and tell us what that was.
Yeah, actually, it had dawned on me because I say a lot of times that if you don't bring something new to the table, then the argument is moot anyway, you know, for or against atheism or religion, whatnot. If you don't bring something new to the ball game, you automatically lose because it's been the same, I guess, echo chamber of everything that everybody said so long. So I analyzed the story, and just one thing stuck out to me is that the whole premise is that the water covered the entire earth. Everything was covered, right? You could see no mountaintops, right? I mean, that's what the whole main legend goes, that everything is covered. Well, if the water was that deep, then it covered Mount Everest. How did they fucking breathe? Because the people who climb Everest have to wear oxygen tanks. I mean, that just kind of, I was like, well, how did they fucking breathe?
Well, what about if there was more oxygen because back then there wasn't as much CO2?
Yeah,
No.
It hadn't been that long, guys. It's only been 2,000
I'm
years.
just saying. I'm just providing a little.
And the other thing that I didn't. Sorry, Corinne. The other thing that I didn't really think of with the story. So what I had thought of, what most people don't think of, is the sea creatures, and I know what people are going to say once you mix the salt water with the fresh water, but bull sharks, and there's other kinds of fish that swim in both. But the one thing that you were saying when you're saying it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and that it would have taken about 9 months for the water to recede.
Yeah, I mean,
all the disease, all the dead carcasses, because you got to think every living thing on Earth is now dead.
Yeah, everything, every fucking thing except for what was on that boat is dead. So it's only been 40 days and nights plus another, 120 days. So you're talking 220 days tops, give or take. There's no way that stuff is gone. It's just a toxic sludge of shit waiting for you when the water's gone.
Yeah, and I didn't look at that.
I don't know. It's pre-industrial era though. So just saying. Just kidding.
What are you saying, pre-industrial era? Yeah, pre-industrial area makes it. Go ahead, Forrest.
Yeah, anything that would have been considered plausible drinking water would have been inundated with just all kinds of fucking toxic sludge. I mean, there would have been nothing. I'm the first guy that says I'll eat their friends if they're dead on the airplane crash. So, nasty is not above me because I will eat your ass if you're dead and we're in the mountains. Sorry, but it's going to happen. But I don't even think I can drink that.
Shit, I don't have to be in the mountains to eat ass. Do that shit in the city, son.
Those were just some of the things that stuck out to me.
And just the whole building of the boat is ridiculous too, right? Like it's so fucking.
Oh.
He took 8 fucking goat herding people and showed them how to make a giant boat, which I don't, if they were in the desert, I don't think anybody knew how to build a boat.
What I can't get over, I come from a major boat building place, and there's people here that fucking swallow this story hook, line, and sinker.
That's crazy, right?
It is. It's nuts.
I actually used to work in the dry docks in Victoria, BC, and the shipbuilding dry docks, and I know what it takes. Well, metal ships, but it's different. I know what it takes to build a ship, and there's no way that fucking 8 people, even the tiny training vessels that have like an 8-person crew here in Canada, they're called orcas. There's like 50 people, 70 people involved in building those. And for 8 people to build something that size, unskilled too. It's not even like they're shipbuilders or boiler makers or welders or electricians or whatever. Well, they wouldn't need electricians back then, but you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's a guy here in Newfoundland. He's a master boat builder. It took him 8 years to construct a schooner, which is approximately 25
Can he
to
fish?
30. Yeah.
But how many people
Can
did he have?
bait a fish hook?
Yeah.
So would you call him a master baiter?
There you go. Yeah, it probably is.
But how many people did he have?
No, he just did it by himself, mostly. Like
And it took him 8 years?
Took him 8 years, but I mean, you're talking about a 20-foot schooner.
Okay.
You're not talking about.
Wait. See, that's something else, dude. It only took him 8 years, but he was like 900 fucking years old.
Yeah, but they were giants too. That's what they're trying to say.
Like the
right?
only productive thing he did in his whole entire fucking life was build this boat. 900 fucking years, and that's what he accomplished.
Were they supposed to be bigger than us too?
Yeah, they're supposed to be giants, dude.
There were giants in those days.
They were.
Well, that's how come.
They
He was able
were
to put the boat together.
Have you not seen? They have dug up the skeletons in Brazil.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, and we're back from the break, and this part of the show we're going to learn a little bit about Forrest and his background and why he started podcasting and kind of where he wants to take it. So, Forrest, why don't you tell us, I'm going to assume, you're from the South, so I'm going to assume that when you were younger, you grew up in a religious family. Is that a safe assumption to make?
It was, yeah. We went to, kind of like the Pentecostals, the Christ Sanctified Church, where they talk in tongues and sprawl that on the floor and fake heal people and all that kind of shit. And
did you ever speak in tongues?
No,
did you ever speak
never.
in tongues? No.
No.
I'm sorry, where in the South, first of all?
I'm in Georgia.
Okay, Georgia.
It's kind of like the armpit region, I guess, of the South.
So we're in Georgia, because I'm in Jacksonville, unfortunately.
Augusta.
I don't know where the fuck that is.
Home of the Masters golf tournament.
Oh, where is it in relation to Atlanta?
2.5 hours, I guess. Kind
East
of
or
south
west?
and kind of southwest.
Southwest. Okay.
So you grew up in a Pentecostal church. I guess that's not an environment that you're gonna feel safe coming out as a non-believer in.
That one's not. I moved on from there later on in life. I became kind of agnostic for quite some time, and then got back into maybe there is something, maybe there isn't something. My dad's got a master's in biblical studies, so it's I've always been
awesome.
around all that kind of fun stuff. And I don't know, it was, I guess 15 years ago I got back into it, and I was into it for, I guess, close to a decade, almost 9 years, right at a decade before I was just like, no, I just can't do this shit anymore, dude.
Can you talk a little bit about what sparked you to become agnostic in the first place, and then I'll ask about you going back to religion.
I guess it was just doubt, a lot of non-evidence. You look for it and there's really not any there, in my opinion, and apparently in a lot of other people's opinions too. I'm not a lone stranger when it comes to that, but I never found any evidence to support anything in the Bible. It was all, every time they did some archaeological dig, they were like, yeah, no, we didn't find any fucking pots here. Sorry.
Yeah. So then if you already were skeptical of the lack of evidence, or you had skepticism towards the story. What would have brought you back to it?
When you look at the people from the outside, you're like, they can't be that fucking happy for no reason. I mean, they can't be. And then you get in and you realize, oh, they're fucking stupid. Okay, now I got it.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss, though. Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. You know, that's what
I'm sorry. So you meant the people that were not religious? They seemed happier to you?
No, the people that were.
Religious.
Oh, okay.
I mean, from the outside, if you look at it with an outsider's perspective, they seem to be happier because they're always smiling and saying they're always blessed. But then you come to realize
it's fake.
Yeah, there's no blessings there. It's just being happy with the status quo and not questioning things. Okay. Being okay with God did it is not okay.
Yeah. So when you came back did you go back to Pentecostalism or did you?
No, I actually went to a Methodist.
Can you explain for somebody that's never been a believer and isn't really like up on religions? Can you explain the difference real quick? Like, just give me the cliff notes between the two.
As in what, like speaking in tongues and Methodist?
No, the Pentecostal and the Methodist. Just like real fast. The basics.
Pentecostals speak in tongues and they have that, faith healing kind of thing and kind of a warped, twisted world view of everybody else. And Methodists will talk to you at the liquor store. I mean, that's that really is it. Methodists, they're Christian light, I guess.
Okay.
You could say, like half the guilt.
Didn't it start in Savannah?
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah, they have some monuments here.
I actually didn't get into as much of the history. Yeah, I didn't actually study any of the history of the Methodist Church until I was out of it. It just didn't interest me.
Okay,
I actually
and then
did a lot of Bible, a lot of reading, and that's what started my brain thinking.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So then, what made you leave again?
Just the study, just looking at it and research and looking at what other people said about it. I mean, you don't have an original Bible. We know that. We're probably not ever going to have an original Bible, but we have a bunch of old copies and we know where they came from and how they got to be. And it's not a God that did it for anybody.
A lot older than the King James, which everybody says is, the Bible.
What is that like? That's like the 1600s era too.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if
people say, "Oh, yeah, that's the real interpretation." But there's an older one that's in a museum for anybody to go look at. I can't.
They've got some from like the what is it, like the 500s or 600s, something like that, from right after the last Council of Versailles and all that.
That apparently are quite interesting.
They found a large collection of them. There was like 5,700 of them, something in this entire collection. They've, methodically gone through all of them and found out that not one of them is the fucking same as any other. They're all different.
It was whoever was ruling and one of the power.
Were there any stories in particular that struck you as a young believer that prompted you maybe to leave?
Noah's Ark is a great one. I've always had that thing in the back of my head. Noah's Ark, like Jonah and the whale, when they marched around the city for 6 days and on the seventh day they blew the horn, Jericho, that whole story. We found Jericho. There's no fucking walls. So, I mean,
So, was Jonah, Jonah, was he in the Bible, did he have magical powers or something?
No. He was just looking after every guy. He was normal.
So it's clearly written by Bronze Age people that don't understand the science of the gut, right? Because even if the whale was big enough and it didn't fucking chomp on him and just like swallow him up and took him down his stomach, we all know that the stomach acid is going to digest him pretty quick.
You know what else?
Okay.
Rabbits chew their cud.
No, they don't. I'm just kidding.
They eat their shit. They don't chew their cud.
Right, mix it up.
Isn't that basically the same principle?
So you're a Methodist. I'm going to assume that you went back for a girl. No, I'm just kidding. So take us to the point where you decide to leave for the second time. Do you just straight up admit to yourself that you're an atheist, or do you stick with the agnostic line?
No, it's pretty much a done deal at that point. I had already decided that was kind of what was going to happen. I don't know if I was trying to do it gracefully or not gracefully, and I ended up not being so graceful about it, but it is what it is. But I knew, and it was done. I was just trying to find a way out without trying to burn bridges, I guess, as I went.
And did you lose any family or friends over this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Family, friends, people I've known for years, people that don't really matter to me and wouldn't matter one way or another. You know, yeah, a lot. And it's really funny too, because it's supposed to be accepting no matter what, and you know, love you regardless. And there was none of that. It was, if you don't think how I think, then I can't be around you.
Yeah, that's because of the inconsistency in the non-judgment of God and non-judgment of Jesus. They actually are fucking judgmental pricks, right? So of course the people that are mimicking them will be fucking judgmental and then say that they're not, because that's what God and Jesus do, right?
Oh yeah, they pass judgment nonstop.
Yes.
Those
That's the one thing they're good at is telling you how not good you are.
Exactly.
From your first step as an atheist, can you give us a little synopsis of your path to going forward to starting your own podcast?
Oh, okay. So I guess the travel from coming out of the closet to jumping over the fucking edge of the cliff without the parachute. Yeah, I sat back on the sidelines and I watched a lot of things. I kept my mouth shut for a little while and I just kind of let it all go. I figured, you know, I'm in the South, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans, blah, blah, blah. But it's so prevalent in everything that happens here. It's in public schools, it's in government, it's in commercials, it's at every fucking street corner, everywhere you go. You can't get away from it.
And when you were religious, you didn't notice this, or you just didn't care?
I don't think you notice it because I think you're in on the scam. You know what I mean? It's stroking each other's ego. I guess it's kind of like a private handshake for the Mason. I mean, that's really what I equate it to.
Yeah, it's like you can't see the fishbowl,
right.
The water, whatever the metaphor is. Like you're knee deep in the hegemony, and you can't see what it's like to not be inside the.
As Bill Maher says, the bubble.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's you're so into the delusion that it doesn't look delusional to you. I mean, but to anyone from the outside, it's painfully obvious there's something wrong here. I guess once I saw that, I became vocal, and you know, I got some kickback from it, and that's fine, whatever. I've never been one to shy away from a confrontation or a discussion or a debate about any of it, and I just decided, you know, I guess I could be a target. That's fine. It doesn't hurt me any. The more people that speak up, I guess the quicker things will change.
Can you describe what kind of environment were you in during this time when you were thinking about voicing your opinion on your disbelief? Like, what kind of social environment were you in? What was it like? And what were you considering when you were about to make these decisions? Like, just
I don't really think once I decided to go forward with everything that relation mattered not to me. You know what I mean? It didn't matter that if it was my father or if it was my friend or if it was the stranger that said, God bless you on the street. It really got to the point where, you know, I think that I really need to take a stand. And so that's what I did.
You decided to do a podcast? Is that your first way of being outspoken, or did you try some other way of activism or protesting first?
I've been on Facebook, you know, posting nasty anti-religion memes, and I've said things to people when they've, you know, posted their pro-religion things. I think that wasn't enough. I didn't think that I was saying enough that way. Anybody can hide behind that. You know, anybody can make an account with any name and say ugly stuff to people. That's easy. But I think once you put yourself out there, that it kind of changes the whole aspect of the game.
Yeah, for sure. About you podcasting, I think it's like brave that you do it by yourself. It's a really hard thing to just talk into a microphone without anybody there to answer back. I have a hard enough time doing it with fucking 4 people talking to me. Never mind talking to myself. And especially like for me, you know, I live in a country where some stats you look at, they say it's 50-50. Some say it's 60-40, believer to non-believer. And it's not something that really comes up every day. So for you to live in a place where, you know, you could lose your job, and obviously you have lost family members, to kind of do it on your own is pretty brave. So I give you kudos for that for sure.
Well, thank you. I'm not doing it for anything like that. I'm not doing it so that people can go, oh, you're brave. I really honestly think if I can just convince one person to think for themselves, that I've probably done more than enough.
I know that you're not looking for it, but it is. So you're not looking for me to say that it's brave, but like putting yourself out there in the first place, doing a podcast, putting your voice out there for everybody to hear, just say it, even that alone, it's not an easy thing to do. Like, you put yourself out there and people are going to fucking slam you, or, religious people may slam you, family members may slam you, strangers slam you, you get shitty comments. It's a pretty brave thing to do in the first place, but to do it alone, I think adds to it. So whether you were looking for it or not, it still is what it is.
Well,
So,
I do appreciate it. That's cool. But I mean, you have to look at location. Like, I have a lot of choice in the options.
you don't have too many atheist friends pounding on your door to do a podcast with you.
What's your ancestry?
Born in Jamaica, Jamaican ancestry.
Who molested you? A family member or a stranger?
My mother never found out who exactly it was, but they suspect it was a member of my father's family or someone that he knew.
And this was in Jamaica?
Yes.
So it's highly possible that this person who molested you could have been into some witchcraft.
Yeah.
And if they were into witchcraft, that would have brought the curse on you.
Yes.
You've been shamed. You were a child. You were molested. It's not your fault. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Bless your heart. I renounce
I renounce
all the sins of my ancestors.
all the sins of my ancestors.
Keep your eyes up. I am the spirit of what? The spirit of what? I command you through Christ. You tell me. Look at me for a minute. Look at me. I want that child who was molested to listen to me. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, that's all right, little Joey. It's okay. You're just a little boy. Your mommy and your daddy weren't there, and somebody bad did something very bad to you. It's okay. It's okay. You're just a frightened, terrified little boy. It's okay. And little Joey, we must forgive that man who did those bad things. He doesn't deserve it, but we need to forgive him. Can you say, I forgive him?
I forgive him.
Say, I forgive him.
I forgive him.
I take a threefold cord from Ecclesiastes 4. I bind this spirit, all of his kind, and all under his authority. We're going to take care of that in advance. You're all bound together. Now, he who is chief, get up and face me. Who are you? You tell me in the spirit of self-hatred. You got it, self-hatred. Say, I accept God's forgiveness.
I accept God's forgiveness.
For all my failures.
For all my failures.
I belong to Christ. I don't have to be ashamed.
I don't have to be ashamed.
I don't have to hate who I am.
I don't have to hate who I am.
Because Christ died for me.
Because Christ.
Get up, spirit of self-hatred. Say, I, the spirit of self-hatred. Say it! I, the spirit of self-hatred. Renounce! Renounce! My right! Stand up and take it like a man. Say, renounce! Renounce! Stand up. My right! My right! To this child of God. This child of God. We receive. We receive the judgment of Almighty God. Almighty God. And we all go. We all go. And we all go now. Say now. Now. Say two. Two-third. Pit. Come on, help me out now. Tell this thing where to go. Come on. Go. Totally. Give the Lord a hand. Come on. That's great. Thank you. Thank the Lord. You did this for me. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank the Lord. Come on. Give the Lord praise for what he did here tonight.
But that was just batshit crazy. There's not much to go, like, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, okay, let me set up the scene.
Yeah,
Okay?
set it, yeah, unpack it for us, Ed, as Sam Harris would say.
Basically, you have a congregation that's there. It's about 20, 30 people. And there's a young man, I can't say he's that young. He's maybe my age, 38, 40. And
he's old as fuck.
He's old as fuck.
That's young.
Hey,
I'm 36, so that's
hey.
2 years away. That's young.
And
I'm older than both of you. Hush.
Hey, I don't want to hear anything there, Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak.
Yeah, Forrest is like
He
fucking...
just call a Canadian a pipsqueak.
Yeah, but Forrest is like 60, so I'll take it. Go ahead, Ed.
So basically, this guy is up in front of this crowd, and this 70s porn star gets up. That's what he looks like. He looks like one of them cheesy.
So Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy.
But he, he's going bald in front. Anyway, he gets up.
So you walked up on stage.
Yeah, and and basically he goes, he does his little bit, and he asks him where he's from, and I love how he just assumes that because he's from Jamaica, he's involved in witchcraft. It's like, can you be more racist than all? It's fucking retarded. And anyway,
what size is your dick, right?
Yeah, that's
he's black, right?
And then he goes to him, and he goes, you were molested. I don't know how the hell he knew.
Yeah, he told him he was molested. It wasn't even like he was like, were you molested? Or the guy was like, as a child, I was molested. He's like, you're into witchcraft, you're black, your family are a bunch of witchcraft, black rapists, you were molested.
Yeah. And he goes on, and then this is where you hear him talk to the man, right, nice and gentle.
The black guy pretends to be possessed, and he's all like, you
have to see this dude's face because it's so...
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like Rick cleaning out the fucking prison, all the zombies in there. That's the noise that he was making. I'm a walker.
And it's just so stupid because Buddy's like veins in his neck is going to pop out of his skin. And he's got his eyes closed and he's spitting every which way, and it's so fake. Like, what the fuck? Anyway,
so is this guy charging money for this, or what's his deal here?
Yeah, you can get a private sitting. Private sitting, cost you money.
And what denomination is he?
Fuck knows. It doesn't give him.
If he's doing exorcisms, dude, I'm gonna have to guess Catholic, dude.
I'm thinking some.
There are some Christians that do exorcism.
I think he's some.
But Catholics are the most fucking crazy about it.
Yeah, but I think he's just some fringe group that he's created himself.
He's a Scientologist, isn't he?
Yeah.
Getting the thetans out.
Anyway, he whacks the dude with the Bible a couple of times. Like, in that whole thing, he's whacked him about 4 times by now.
So could we call him over Skype? Can I pay for him to do an exorcism on me?
Yeah, you got to go to him, I think.
Pick me. My demons are deep.
Yeah, but I thought you said it was online.
Yeah, he's online. He does this.
Okay, but he's private. But I wonder if we contact him and I'm like, I really need you to exorcise my gay, homosexual, fucking butt-sick demons. But I can't. I'm in Canada. Can we do it over Skype? And then we record it. How much fun would that be?
That would be awesome.
But there's a group of us.
How much does it cost, though?
I have no idea.
Like, someone will pay a little money to, like, really fuck with somebody, but...
I'd pay $100.
Yeah, that's half a demon. Man.
I wonder if there's depth of demons. Like, you can get the smoking demon for $100, but the butt fucking sex demon is like $500.
So it's like a video game. It's like an RPG where you gotta go collect different.
Yeah.
Like,
until you get to the big boss. Until you get to the big boss, and the big boss is hard to defeat. The one thing that I noticed about like exorcism from, like, obviously I didn't really pay. This guy's fucking crazy. But anyways, I noticed that every time I see a video on exorcisms online, one out of the crowd, when they fucking do the exorcism on, they're like, I am Legion. It's like the go-to fucking demon for these fucktards is Legion.
I want to see one demon, if there really was a demon, which there's not, but I'd like to see one demon go, what the fuck, man? Like, dude, what are you doing? I'm trying to have a cohabitate with this bitch in and you won't leave me alone. Like, fuck
What
God.
I would like to see is one of these Christians go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but
fuck off.
But you have to see the crowd. They're all clapping and amening. And
That's what I mean. Like, but not every fucking Christian is fucking possessed, right? So it's like, but on the fucking videos that I've seen of these exorcisms, they're like, and demon be gone, and he's like putting his fucking hands out on people, and they're fucking falling to the floor and writhing around, and then they're like, the girl is like, and then he's like, what demon are you in the name of Christ? And he's like, I am Legion or retard or whatever she said, and then he's like, demon be gone out, and then all of a sudden she's like fucking saved. I want a Christian to be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Get your fucking hands off me. I'm not fucking. Or could you imagine him doing that to an atheist? I swear I'd punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, but
he put his fucking clammy hands on my face and said, demon be gone.
Oh,
I'd
no,
knock
no.
his shit out.
It's not his hand. He puts on
It's his dick?
No, it's
Tell me it's his dick.
No, it's this big
balls.
silver cross.
That, again, is Catholics. Will you stop confusing the two?
Yeah.
God damn it. No, but if it was little boys, it'd be Catholic.
But it's a silver cross, right? And
Yeah.
and it has Jesus on it. Anyway, he puts it on their head, and you see
Not
all
up
these
their
guys. No, he starts like whacking him with the Bible. I'm like going, dude, if the guy got something, he's probably got a mental illness, if anything, and whacking him with the Bible is not going to help.
Well, he's got a mental illness. He went there and expected that guy to take demons out.
True.
I mean, that's a mental illness.
That's the thing about it too, right? Like the people that do honestly, truly think that they're possessed are most likely have a mental illness, because there's lots of mental illnesses that will make you feel like there's an entity in the room, or you'll hear voices, or you'll even see things. So I mean,
yeah, but I think these people, because he knows so much about their history before he goes on stage, is that I think that this is a group that he travels with to show people. Like,
so do you think that they're all fakes?
Yeah, I think they're all fakes. I don't think any one of them.
So you didn't think that guy got butt fucked by his uncle then?
No, because
when he was going, I'm a Sasquatch, that was all fake?
Yeah, because it's a constant theme.
You like Trump when he was making fun of the reporter.
But it's a constant theme. Like, there was a lady.
There is a great in my nickname. I'm just saying.
There's this theme, like a lot of all of the 7 that I watched, they're all either molested as a child or raped or something like that. It's all sexual. So I think he gets off on hearing the stories if it's not planned, right?
Yeah, there's got to be something up. They're probably getting a little something on the side. The video that I saw, the first one, man, that was the one that I loved. The black guy that was standing there.
Yeah, I mean, but it just what goes through my mind is what possesses you, and that sounds like a stupid statement, but what goes through your mind that you would believe that this dude could do this? What possesses you to think that this human, this primate, has any more special powers than any other primate?
He was involved in a nuclear explosion, which gave him quantum powers.
So it's like all Professor X shit.
You can cast out demons and stuff like that.
I think you're talking about the Hulk, man. He just beats shit up.
But it was like whack-a-mole for most of them. Like
Hulk smash.
Yeah, when he beats them with the Bible, like, I don't get that. Like, what the hell is the Bible going to do? I'll get the dictionary and whack you with it. It doesn't do anything.
I wonder if there's an online course. I don't actually want to go through the whole, I'm Father Fuckface. But I wonder if there's, an online course where I could become an exorcist. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. I'm ordained, so still, we could check that out. That would be fun.
Catholic.
That would be fun. And then, so I'll get him to exercise my gay butt sex demons, and then I'll go around exercising
gay butt sex
demons. Because there's there's straight butt sex and there's gay butt sex, and mine happens to be gay. Don't be mean to my demon, okay?
It's not a demon if it's straight butt sex, because that's not a sin. It didn't say you couldn't have butt sex. It just said you couldn't have gay butt sex.
But if you pull out and spill it on the ground, you're dead.
Dead. And don't look back.
I just don't see how anybody can swallow this whole fucking tale.
Well, it must be mass hysteria, right? Like you get a group of people into a room, and they already believe in fucking bullshit, wackadoo fairy tales, and they believe in demons and they believe in angels, and then you get this guy in here that's like fucking hyping them up, and he's like, "There's demons on Earth," and fucking blah blah blah, and they get into a frenzy, and their euphoria starts to kick in, and then he's like going around like, "And you have a demon, and you have a demon." I'm sure it's like, it's like that group setting, wanting to fit in, but who the fuck wants to fit in as having a fucking demon? Like how fucking, I'm sorry, lack of better terms, retarded do you have to be?
If you believe that kind of thing exists, you could believe anything.
But do you actually think that these people believe that they're demon possessed, or is it just, hey, the fucking pastor is like, and then
I think that if you're so brainwashed as to believe that there is such a thing as demons, and your pastor is, speaking God's word for him, and he says you have a demon, yeah, I could see those people believing it.
But I think these are shills. The people that he's showing on the videos on YouTube. These are
the videos are probably, but I'm sure he gets people believing the shit, though.
Yeah, I think this is just priming them so that they would pay him to take out their demons.
Do you have his contact info, Ed?
No,
but I can't get him on the show.
I'd love to have him on the show.
I'm serious when I say that I will totally pay for the five of us to get him over Skype and to try to exercise my gay butt sex demon. I wonder if he'd be like, what he would name if I was just like, I am the gay butt sex demon, but please name me. What he would actually name the gay butt sex demon? Fucking Steven the Sodomite, get out of Dave.
Rupert the Rumper.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, Steven and Rupert, please get in, Dave. Yeah.
Wrong, Dave.
But fucking demon. No, I totally would though, and I wouldn't be like gay butt sex demon, but I would pretend just to see how far he went. I'd be like, shamalaka, laka, mecca leka hine, mecca hiney ho, all that crazy shit that they do first, and I'd be like, oh, and then all you have to do is just kind of act all like crazy and shit, and walk with a little bit of a limp and twitch a little.
But if these are real cases, and these are really people that have mental illness, or have had such a tragedy in their life, like, being raped as a child, I think this is a complete predator that is using these people to his own benefit. And
for sure he is. Yes. And like, if the Jamaican fellow was actually molested by his relative, that fucking sucks, man. Like, let's get that out of the way. That completely sucks. And it completely sucks that the guy is like, just because the guy's from Jamaica, all of a sudden he's into witchcraft. David, how many of your family members are into witchcraft?
All of them.
None. They're all Christians. So.
Yeah, they're all Christians. See?
But I mean,
you know that Jamaica is like more Christian than us.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's Haiti or Dominican Republic where you have Santeria, voodoo.
Yeah, Jamaica. My family in Jamaica, by marriage, they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay, for those of you who don't know who David Avocado Wolfe is, you're in for a real fucking treat. This is absolute. Me and Edward searched for the craziest, most batshit possible thing that we could find, and we came up with David Avocado. So Edward's going to play some clips.
Chocolate lines up planetarily with the sun. Chocolate is an octave of sun energy. In fact, it's the energy of the center of the sun. It's a male energy that comes down off the sun, and it actually, out of all the plants, the cacao is right on line, target of the center of the sun, which we call, in our body, the heart. And actually, cacao is right up with the center of the sun, which is the center of the heart, which is called the sacred heart. So the cacao is hitting that frequency of the Sacred Heart. And it's an energy that comes from the sun.
I've never called my heart a cacao. I just got to say that. Or sacred, either.
No, I mean, what does that even mean? It's like a big word salad. It means absolutely fucking nothing. An octave? We're not talking about musical notes here. You know, what the fuck is he talking about? An octave. It makes no sense whatsoever.
He's a fucking psycho.
Anyway, that was just the introductory to David Wolfe. Here's David Wolfe talking about mushrooms.
Mushroom spores have been found at every altitude of the Earth, right up into the troposphere, right in the ionosphere, stratosphere, everywhere. Every single height has been found mushroom spores because they can levitate off the planet, because they're surrounded by a shell of Ormus, which actually is trying to get to the center of the sun. Occasionally, it gets slingshotted right off the center of the sun and gets propelled out into the atmosphere, into the solar system, and then eventually gets slingshotted out across the galaxy, like the way we do our satellites. And so mushrooms are, in fact, not from here. They're from somewhere else. They came here. They rode in on cosmic wind.
What the fuck is he talking about? What is Ormus?
They're from the center of a fucking nuclear fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it's so hot there. It's like the spores, they're trying to get, nobody's trying to get to the center of the sun. Nobody.
People believe his shit, and I just want to scream because that's so stupid.
Would you not slap his mouth when he was saying that? Like, mushrooms are trying, they're trying to get to the center of the sun.
I think he ate too many shrooms.
What is that even?
I don't know. There should be a death penalty for spreading stupidity.
And I want to know what scientist is up on, like, the International Space Station, and they're like, yeah, let's go outside and take a non-air sample because we're in fucking space and see if there's any fucking mushroom spores because they've been slingshotted from the center of fucking hell. Like, what? Fuck
like,
you.
seriously, dude, shut your fucking dick holster, okay?
Okay, now, seeing that you were talking about scientists, Dave, let's hear David Wolfe's take on Carl Sagan.
Again, gravity is not intrinsic to matter. That Carl Sagan idea that was sold to us on Cosmos, on PBS, was sold to us deliberately to actually confuse us. And just so you know that, there's people who've known that gravity is a force that can be displaced. There's people who've known that since the 50s or even earlier than that. But by screwing up or confusing our mind about these things and giving us incorrect theories, we were brainwashed into a totally different belief system. That is, gravity is intrinsic to all matter. We're fighting gravity. We have to push our way through gravity to launch a craft up into outer space and all this nonsense.
Yeah, says the fucking rocket scientist.
Yeah, he's talking about mushrooms trying to get to the center of the sun, and then he's calling Carl Sagan a fucking liar. Fuck you, sir. Fuck you and your fucking granola hippie ass.
I don't think he's ever taken
You know what? I'm more mad at the people that follow him. He's a raving lunatic. How can you follow somebody like that? How can you even...
Because the Ormus is circling you.
How does he think that the fucking planets orbit each other if gravity's not...
David, they're surrounded by a sacred Ormus. Whatever Ormus is. But they're surrounded and they're floating upon.
I think he's just retarded and he doesn't know how to pronounce aura.
Gosh.
Okay. Here he is talking about longevity.
Hang in there. The breakthroughs that are happening, what I'm seeing, is going to give us another 40 years. If you can just hang in there, maybe another 15.
Okay.
Now, if you hang in there another 15, probably you're going to get another 40 on top of that. There's tremendous discoveries going on in genetics.
Oh, thank you, David Avocado, fucking biological fucking longevity scientist. Thanks for clarifying the fact.
Yeah, he trusts science in some sense, but then he's like, oh, science fucking Carl Sagan's wrong.
I love this, though.
He just said he's wrong. He's a liar.
Oh, liar.
I love this, though. He's like, it's like, almost like a negotiation. If you stay on for another 15, you'll get 40. And maybe an extra 40. You know, it's like, It might give you 20, but
Where does he come up with these numbers from anyway?
I fucking don't know.
And that's not even what they say. For fuck's sakes. They're like, if you can live another 100, maybe you'll get 10. Fuck you.
I don't know that I would take the 80 he's offering.
Fuck him. Fuck him and his fucking crimped out fucking Jerry curl hair.
But wait. Here's how we're going to live forever. It's the healing with that electricity.
Oh,
Let's say
no.
you're driving down the road. You have a little bit of like a little toothache or something. Just like that. Let's say you have a little bit of a problem underneath your gum. You can't get anything to it. You can't get neem oil into it. Nothing can get there. An electrical current
Hang
can
on,
get
press
there.
pause.
Let's say you have a problem in your side.
What the fuck is neem oil?
I have no idea. Some fucking junkies hawking.
Like, is it fucking like a little midget?
No.
He's like, just say you can't get fucking Frodo to the eye of fucking Sauron to fucking throw the ring in. Then what you want to do is you want to put this fucking electric probe on your face so you look like a complete fucking jackass. The fuck is wrong with you? Here, stick this dildo up your ass. It'll take your ass pain away. Fuck you. Go ahead, Ed.
Yes, there's no vascularization. There's no way to get blood flow in there, no way to get any nutrients in there, no way to actually get that infection out
Wait,
there.
did he just say there's no way to get blood flow into your gums?
No, into your nose. He's talking about your nose here now.
So there's no blood flow into your nose. David, if I punch you in the fucking nose, the blood's gonna flow. Just so you know. Just so you know. I just want to let you know that.
Except, I didn't say it, you didn't see it, we never heard about it.
Yeah, I did.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone. He's going to stick an electric probe up your nose.
Up your ass.
Shit for everybody on the fucking internet. No, I'm down with the electric nipple clamps. I think I can get on board with this idea.
That's what I was saying earlier when we were talking about it during pre-production.
Now, everybody, we're going to learn why the ocean is salty.
The reason why the oceans are salty is that's what's needed to hold the water onto the earth.
No.
If that didn't happen, the water would levitate right off the earth. That'd be the end of it. But the salt holds it on in the same way it holds it into our body.
So it's not gravity, it's fucking salt.
Yeah, what about the
A
freshwater
little bit
lakes?
ago, you called Carl Sagan a liar because gravity, we're not fighting gravity. You can manipulate gravity, but now salt, because there's no freshwater fucking lakes anywhere, or rivers, you fucking dumb motherfucking ass cunt. Fuck! And you know what the worst fucking part about this is that I have atheists on my friends list that post fucking memes of this guy, and not like memes like, hey, look, here's a fucking retard. His name is David Avocado. He's super dangerous. He's going to tell you to eat fucking strawberries instead of take your fucking cancer cure. No, they're like inspirational quotes, and David Avocado says fucking global warming. It's like, fuck. Seriously.
You know what? And the worst part is, I didn't know about this guy until you told me about him, because I just never heard of him. And I'm, like, I feel sick to my stomach just knowing that this person exists.
And that he's making millions of dollars off
Yeah.
it. It's not like...
Off of fake shit. People are fucking...
He wrote a book that people bought. When he was talking about chocolate earlier,
Let's back that up a bit. He didn't write a book.
Yeah,
he plagiarized the book.
He plagiarized the one. But the one about chocolate, so he wrote a book about chocolate, about the Sacred Heart and blah, blah, blah. And I saw him on a video with some fucking blonde bimbo, and she's like, oh, David Avocado, tell me more about chocolate. Oh, you get so deep into chocolate. Like, fuck off. Seriously?
But
the cacao. It's a cacao.
But to be serious for a second, the scariest part about him, he has a program for children. That's what's scary to me, is he's indoctrinating the next generation to be gullible, if they get to live to that from what he's selling them. It's a scary proposition. But I'm going to play another clip so you can be educated about how the Earth is flat.
Oh, great.
The flat Earth thing brings up certain questions, certain fundamental things in your reality. For example, this is the one that broke it down for me, and I bet you it's going to break it down for you. Observations that can't be made on a 25,000-mile ball circumference Earth. Certain observations can't be made. Where I live on Kauai, on a clear day, I can see Oahu. Oahu is 70 miles away. That's 1 degree of the Earth's curvature. The Earth's curvature drops away from you at 8 inches times the distance in miles squared. So, for example, at 9 miles, that's 54 feet. But as soon as you get to 30 miles, that's 600 feet. By the time it's 70 miles, it's 1,187 meters. Meters. So that means the bulge should come up in front of you, and I should see from Kauai only the tops of the mountains of Oahu. You don't see that. You see it all the way down to the coast. You see the whole island. Not possible on the model that we've been sold. That's the one that broke it down for me. Optically, it's one of the things you have to deal with. Optically, the world's flat.
Okay. To put something in perspective, he kind of did us a really nasty trick there. He talked about feet. He talked about miles. He talked about meters. And when he says it's 1,000 meters, it makes it seem very
first he set it up with feet and miles. Then after saying the smaller numbers with feet and miles, then he said 1,000 meters.
And
so
that's only 294 feet.
Exactly. So he's trying to make it seem like it's but I mean, like we already know the Earth is really fucking big, so it appears flat to the naked eye. It always has. Unless you're looking at a ship going over the horizon. But, I mean, so the space station is real. Sorry, David.
Yeah, but he says we haven't produced pictures of the Earth.
Which
or
is
around Earth. But see, what NASA does, and this is true, NASA takes, because the satellite is going around the Earth, it takes pictures in steps going around because it's not far enough back.
It's not a fucking the lens is not wrapped around the fucking planet. You have to.
Yeah, and plus the fact it's not far enough back off the Earth to get the whole entire circumference of the Earth. So it takes pictures in stages, and NASA puts them together. And that's just, it's not to trick anybody.
That's science, bitch.
Does he not understand basic geometry?
No.
But
God fucking Christ.
But don't you know the Earth is here to heal you? And
oh, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm going to just share this secret with you. It's the Earth's healing secret. Are you ready?
It's one of the great places in the world to be at the beach, to be able to be connected barefoot to the earth. It's in fact a great reason why people come on vacations, why we're at this great resort here in Hawaii. On this earth, there's a charge, there's a surface charge. It's on the water, it's on all the rivers, it's on the springs. There's that surface charge of negatively charged electricity. This is what's been discovered.
Hang on. So he said that the salt was keeping the water from going, and he just talked about rivers.
Yeah. He just defeated his own argument.
Okay, go on.
Now, I'm going to fill in something here. We just a little bit talked over a bit. The Earth is negatively charged. Keep that in mind.
Atmosphere is basically positively charged, and the Earth is negatively charged. And because I'm barefoot, I'm able to actually be part of the great Earth. The Earth is so big, it immediately envelopes me as soon as I touch it with my skin.
Buddy.
But if I'm insulated with the rubber-soled shoe or the plastic-soled shoe, if I'm insulated by wooden floors, if I'm insulated by carpets, if I'm insulated by vehicles or airplanes, then I'm separated away from the Earth's electromagnetic field, and it changes my own static field. In fact, I'm then isolated as an electromagnetic island, and I'm susceptible to the bombardment of EMF frequencies, especially in the low frequency range.
So, like, grammatically, when I'm writing, all over the place, but I'm actually a little bit of a stickler when it comes to spoken language, and it's enveloped, not enveloped. Just so you know, David, loser, Wolfe.
One of the big things that he's talked about, he said that the Earth is negatively charged and the sky is positively charged.
Mm-hmm.
If you know anything about electromagnetism...
He can go suck a dick. That's what I know about electromagnetism.
Yeah, but I mean, we have constant lightning, constantly, every fucking minute of the day, because electrons would be firing all the time, going up to from negative to positive, because they want to they want to attract. That'd be fucking dangerous as hell. I just don't understand his logic. And then to say that, this envelops you or envelopes you or whatever the fuck he called it.
Mails you to fucking China.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. If you're surrounded by an electromagnetic force, everything would be attracted to you. Like, every metal, anyway.
I want to know, like, what studies has he done for any of the shit that he's done? Where is it peer-reviewed? Because it's not like he's saying, this is what I think or this is what I believe. He's saying, this is what is.
You read it in Cosmopolitan magazine or some shit.
Look, this is some space-age bullshit. This is pseudoscience at its best.
This is beyond space-age bullshit. This is like the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Finally, someone the Scientologists can laugh at.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But if you thought that was bad, be prepared for the worst.
No.
This is the worst.
No, it can't be.
I've been on the road for over 20 years. So 4 or 5 events a week for 20 years is a lot of events. That's how I got conscious about this vaccine issue. I met so many parents, in particular moms with vaccine-injured children, that it woke me up at one point. After hundreds of kids, I finally woke up and I started researching it, then looking into it. Then came the internet. And that allowed us to go deeper, to pick up the scientific journals without having to show up in the library. And I did actually get to the Library of Congress, done a lot of research in this area, to the point now where we need to look at this issue as an issue of medical freedom, of religious freedom. My religion tells me I don't do this, so I don't have to do this to participate in society. They're trying to drive a wedge to separate those who are independent thinkers, those who are actually scientific and ready to do the tough science, from participating in society.
For fuck's sakes.
He's just basically validating people's fears about vaccines.
Yeah, of course he is, to make a dollar.
I fucking hate him.
And like, let's remember that this is like Forrest and Ed had pointed out earlier in the show. Like, this is a man that plagiarized, like, word for word. Like, me and Edward watched a comparison video from the book that he plagiarized, and it's word for word. And it's because he was able to plagiarize it because the guy is in fucking the Middle East. Yeah. So, like, I guess he didn't think anybody was going to figure it out, but they did, and he took a lot of heat for it. But this is just bullshit. He hasn't done any. There wasn't hundreds of cases that after 100 children, I decided to do my scientific research as the fucking non-scientist fucktard that I am. Like, go fuck yourself.
But I can believe him that there's 100 children injured by vaccines. But those are special cases. Think about how many people...
He has never come into contact with 100 children that were injured by vaccines. Do vaccines sometimes harm people? Yes. Are they 100% effective? No. But the number of people that are harmed from vaccines is so small, and the number of people that don't reap the benefits from vaccine is so small. And the fact that the rest of us do... that the vaccines do work on us, our herd immunity then keeps the people that the vaccine doesn't work on safe. But if you have a bunch of fucktards like David Avocado, Wolfe, and all the other ones that think that vaccines cause autism running around not vaccinating their children, then we see things like smallpox, chickenpox, measles. These things start to come back in the States.
And come back with a force that will wipe out a lot of people. That herd immunity is so important. But let's be honest, some people are allergic to vaccines. They do get injured. But the only way to know that is to have the vaccine injected. But those are so minuscule in comparison to the number of people vaccines actually save and work in. It's beyond, I'd say in the last 10 years, you might have 100 people over a 10-year period that get injured. But you're talking about millions upon hundreds of millions.
You're talking about diseases that were pretty much wiped out until these anti-vaxxers started.
Well, guess what? You had 2 cases of leprosy in the U.S.
Yeah.
We've had measles here, too.
Motherfucking leprosy.
I mean, these diseases should be eradicated from our system. We have the technology, the vaccines, the antivirals.
Oh, but Jenny McCarthy knows more than a fucking scientist.
Jenny McCarthy should be in jail.
Is a cunt. She should be put in jail.
She should. There is an actual website, then they can prove X number of people died because of listening to Jenny McCarthy. This woman should be.
She's a criminal in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And David Wolfe, fucking Avocado. Anyway, this guy should be in prison too.
He shouldn't be able to use the name Avocado.
But
avocados are good for you.
Avocados, so it works for me.
But he fucking sells deer placenta fresh for you to consume. He sells you deer antlers that he saws off living animals, and these are not like dried antlers. These are velvet antlers.
I want to take his head, I want to curb stomp this guy. Seriously, he deserves it.
Well, I mean, I've never heard of another person besides Jenny McCarthy, I'd say, that is on the same parallel of the devastating effect he's having on human beings.
Yeah, because people, I don't know why people will listen to people who have no expertise in an area.
Well, I mean, it's the Jeebus factor. I mean, he see how he used that it's a religious freedom to say that you don't want this into your body. The moment you invoke a deity or a supernatural, people just shut off their fucking brains and say, yeah, I believe you.
I just don't get it because I've never been a believer. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
No, and it shouldn't. It absolutely shouldn't make sense. But unfortunately, we're dealing with people that have already turned off their brain to reality, and now they're going to hurt the rest of us based on the fact that they don't want to give vaccines because some asshole who has no credentials whatsoever, never spent a day in college.
Well, how about survival of the fittest?
Just take warning labels off of everything, and it'll probably work itself out eventually.
I mean, this is beyond dangerous, and yet because of religious freedom, because we allow this crap to go on, this is the consequences we have to face.
That falls into my invisible friend Larry thing.
Yes.
Is that somebody had compared God to their invisible friend Larry, and he said, "What's wrong with my invisible friend Larry? He doesn't hurt anybody, and I can play with my friend Larry all day long." I was like, "That's fine. You can pray with Larry. That's fine. You and Larry can play all day long in your yard, all you want to. But when Larry starts making rules about how I do things in my yard, and who I can play with, and when I can play with them, we have a fucking problem. So if you wouldn't mind, can you and Larry stay off of my fucking grass?" And I mean, if we allow people to do that without speaking up, it's going to be very bad for society. I mean, it already is. It's already evident here that it is. But
yeah.
I mean, you get asked all the time, why are you so angry as an atheist? Why don't you just leave the religious alone? Well, like Chris Ray Hitchens said, every time I turn the newspaper or watch a news program, the parties of God have something to do to fuck up my life. And I'm not going to stand for it.
And they're holding back us as a species. Think about if the Christians never got as much power as they did, and the library at Alexandria was allowed to flourish.
Well, I mean, they said the Library of Alexandria had the world's knowledge at the time, and it was destroyed.
Yeah, because fucking Jesus? No, fuck you. I mean, what gives you the right? You can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe, but the second it starts affecting my life in any way, and you know what? I'm just tired of people being so ignorant and dumb when the evidence is presented before you, and you want to pick and choose the Bible, and you want to pick and choose what science is right. I'm going to go fly a plane. I'm going to go drive a fucking car. I'm going to use my electricity and my running fucking water and sewage and antiseptics, but I won't accept the fact that science has pretty much disproven most of your fucking book. So, I'm done with it.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that for a second. They get into their car that takes fossil fuels that have been in the ground for millions of years, yet they deny the very fact of evolution. They say that the Earth is 6,000 years old. Well, where the fuck is this fossil fuels coming from then?
Yep.
I mean,
beer's older than that.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. The Chinese were reading and writing. It's 10,000 years ago. So, like, what the fuck, people? If the Earth is 6,000 years old, well, where were the Chinese writing their shit to?
There's civilizations that are older than that. But back to fucking the pseudoscience of David Avocado. He's lying his fucking face off. Is there nothing the government can do about this? Because he's making a bunch of claims.
No,
like
there's
scientific
nothing
claims.
they can do about it. Because, I mean, there's billboards down here that say that, oh, they have show a little baby and it says, my heart started beating at 18 days. You're a fucking clump of cells at 18 days.
Yeah, see, the difference is that he has all these shell companies that he's not directly the CEO or he's not directly involved in on the books. So he gets money from them, but he's not directly involved. So he can make all the claims he wants. The company that makes money on his behalf, he's not involved with technically. So this is where there's a loophole where he's not responsible for anything. I was watching a program today that just pissed me off to no end. I had to turn it off. The liability. I mean, this guy comes from a long line of scam artists. His father lost his medical license 3 times. His brother embezzled $27 million from 14 people, leaving properties and people in California destitute. His whole family is a bunch of scam artists. And yet, people don't even do 5 minutes of research on this individual before they accept hook, line, and sinker what he has to teach them. That's crazy.
Yes, for sure.
Well, Forrest, thanks for joining us tonight. Would you like to plug your show?
Oh yeah, Atheist on Fire. I'm on Spreaker, Facebook, Google, Twitter. I think that covers pretty much all of them. Just getting started. I'd like a little feedback from people, maybe some topics to touch on. I'm actually going to start adding a couple new segments to the show, I think, just to stretch it out a little bit and poke a little humor at it. Other than that, I guess that's it.
And I'll say, go ahead and check out his show. I'll be jumping on there sooner or later. I enjoyed it, so go check out his content for sure. Give him some speed. Actually, give us some feedback too, bitches. Give both of us feedback.
This was the Wayward Atheist Podcast. Visit our new website at waywardatheists.com. Follow us on Spreaker, spreaker.com/waywardatheists. You can email us at waywardatheistpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at waywardatheists and on facebook.com/waywardatheists. If you enjoy our content, feel free to leave us a review on iTunes and feel free to support us at patreon.com/waywardatheists.